Started on that couch, couldn't catch my breath. Rob's got the Stoke voice, Ben's coaching best. Emma joined the crew, brought balance to the mess. From zero to hero, community blessed. And we are live, that's how we start. 3 voices strong, 1 beating heart. Couch to coach, we're building art. Every step we take, we're playing our part. Keep running, that's what we do. Keep running, me and you. Keep running, through and through. Keep running, the whole crew. Keep running, dreams come true. Keep running, I'm talking to you.
And we are live.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Absolutely fantastic.
Emma's in a new position. It's thrown me. We're not going to say goodnight to Oliver tonight, I don't think.
I can't even see a camera.
What?
I can't even see you.
Hello?
I can.
Yeah.
And
When I saw
she's on
you,
YouTube.
you look like you're in some kind of boudoir,
Yeah, she does.
but then you've disappeared.
Yeah, I can see you. I don't know what's happened there then.
Can the people on the live see me?
I think people on live can see.
Well,
Because
that's the important thing, isn't
I'm
it?
on the YouTube live, and Rob Morris has said Emma's moved.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's all right
people can see
then.
you. Yeah,
They're the
people
most
can-
important people.
I
They
actually
are,
can't
they are,
see
definitely.
you on Riverside, but
I
on
can see on YouTube.
YouTube, I can see you. So
How
hello.
strange.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I don't care about you though.
Unfortunately, I thought you were going to say unfortunately.
So I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna watch us on YouTube.
You've got to talk.
Okay.
Well, you can't just watch. You've got to talk because we've got a lot to talk about again this week.
Have we?
Oh, have we
what's
now?
been
We've
going
got a lot-
on?
well, we've done his
Oh.
training, haven't we? We've done all his training and everything. So we need to talk about his training, and we need to be critically analysed. Or critiqued.
I've got an important question.
Can it wait, or do you want to go straight into it? What's
Straight into
about?
it if it's
Go on then.
okay.
Go on then.
Is there an
Ben.
agenda? Is there an agenda though?
Yeah, the
No.
agenda is first point of agenda is Emma's question. I've got it here. Go on.
Is Rob's training plan the same as mine?
No.
Coach's prerogative.
we
Just
compared on Saturday. We went out and I went to the Bid Off Running Awards, which we'll come on to in a bit. And we compared last week.
Oh, so you got together, you had a couple of drinks, and then you started slagging me off.
No, didn't slag you off. But it was
No,
the
that's not
same. It
reason
was the
I'm
same.
asking.
But this week it's different because I've had 45 minutes on my plan today, although we'll come on to that in a minute. And Emma had a rest day, so it must be different.
That's
Emma had a
alright
rest
then.
day. Emma had a rest day because,
because of
she
the
pulled that
long-
silly stunt at the weekend.
This is all I wanted to know because I've just been on Strava and saw that Rob had been for a run, and if he was on a rest day as well, then it'd make me feel good that he's not done his plan.
Rob wasn't on a rest day because Rob didn't pull a silly stunt at the weekend.
Yeah.
You authorised it.
No, we agreed. We agreed on this
still a silly
podcast.
stunt.
Yeah,
Say
we
that-
agreed
say
on this
that fast
podcast
5
last
times.
week. Silly stunt, silly stunt, silly stunt, silly stunt. Careful. We agreed after your silly, because you're a silly stunt, that you could do that run, and you had to have a rest day. But Rob didn't need a rest day because Rob didn't do one.
I
So
didn't do a silly stunt. I just
the
stuck
plans.
to the plan.
Does it matter?
No, I don't think it does.
What else was in this conversation when Rob, I don't drink silly toe, woke up with a hangover the next day? Come on, let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
But it was more about Bidoff. We talked about Bidoff Running Club.
Oh yeah.
We didn't really have opportunity to talk much, did we, Emma? Really, we spoke about
Rob
a few
was
things.
too busy dancing,
I was
buying
dancing.
shots.
Oh, here we go. Got
Drinking
let out the
cider.
bit.
I
We'll
left.
come to-
I was planning. Oh yeah, we'll come on to that anyway. We'll come on to that because
The answer
I
to your
was
question.
planning. Go on.
The answer to your question, no, your plans aren't going to be the same. They've started very much the same,
Mhm.
which is what would happen with anybody. Because ultimately, if you're training, you're both training for the same race, Manchester, on the 19th of April, 14 weeks away from today. Your plans are going to start off the same. So the consistent thing is long runs and sessions. Your sessions will differ depending upon the adaptations that you pick up from your training, but they have started the same. Things do crop up, which mean plans need to be altered. And as you get through closer to Manchester, what we'll see they should start the same. We should see different changes and improvements, and then we'll kind of see the last 3 weeks will be very similar again, because you'll both go into taper at the same time. But what's going to happen is naturally changes happen, fitness happens, or fitness doesn't happen. So the demands are different.
Yeah.
That all right? Good enough answer?
I was going to say, does that answer your question, Emma?
I've got another one.
Oh, hang on. Let me just check the agenda. Funnily enough, it says, Emma, question number 2.
I'm in for it tonight, I know. Go on.
So I have a different goal to Rob in terms of the marathon with time, because I want sub 4 hours.
Correct.
And Rob, what do you want? 4:15. So to finish. So in our sessions are like based on pushing us to be faster. How does it work?
It's a good question, but the thing you've got to look at is you need to understand this is a really
too early, Emma. We're only 6 minutes in. Don't peak too early.
I'm on a roll now.
It's a really good question, and it's really something that anybody that's on a training plan needs to basically understand. When you understand the runs that you're doing and the benefits that each run gives you, you can really kind of get more out of your training. So for instance, if you look at an easy run and you see that keeping your heart rate or keeping you inside zone 2 is an endurance run to improve your endurance, you start to understand and appreciate more that I don't have to go really fast on easy runs. When you start doing threshold runs, so that might be, let's say, for instance, blocks of 6 minutes, 3 times 6 minutes or something, or we might do 20 minutes at threshold, and you keep your heart rate at threshold, or let's say, for instance, what we can determine as your threshold pace, you can start to say, well, actually, I need to not run faster than that and slower than that because we're working on our threshold. And then you've got things like rep sessions. So these are really short rep sessions where we're looking at like turnover of leg speed. So it might be like 50 seconds on, 50 seconds off times 12 or something like that. There to really work on your running economy and to develop your speed and your biomechanics in your running, and are more likely to improve things like your VO2 max. So that's where you start looking at those sessions and going, this is the aim today. You've then got things like your long run, which is to build your base and to have time on feet and to help your body to adapt in terms of recruiting slow twitch muscle fibers and mitochondria density, scientific terms, all that sort of stuff. They're your long runs.
If you don't know what, go and Google them.
Chat GPT. Or DM me, but there to develop your long run.
DMs.
So that's because you want to be able to run for 4 hours or 4 hours 15 minutes. Where it varies for you and Rob is when we start putting the specificity into it. So what we'll do is we'll say Rob wants to do 4 hours 15. What pace is that per mile, Rob?
About 10 minutes, something, I think.
You should know this, bread and butter.
I don't know.
If you don't know what pace you need to run your marathon at this point in time.
In K, 5:41.
No. We don't work in Ks.
I work in K, and it's 5:41.
You need to.
The only people I know that work in Ks is you and my mate Sam. He's in the comments. Hi, Sam.
Okay,
Sam
so
tell us the benefits of Ks.
I think in what's the other one? Miles. I think in miles it's 9:08.
The other one.
But this is it. So what will happen is
9:09 is a sub 2 hour half marathon. So I know that one. So it's
don't complicate matters. But the idea is that
9:44 per mile for me.
The only difference really is Rob needs to work on easy runs, so do you. You need to work on threshold runs, so does Rob. You both need to work on your running economy because you want to get faster. And you both need to develop time on feet with your long runs. But the only difference in terms of what we'll actually do in some of the workouts is the specificity of, can you run 6 miles at your target marathon pace, then have 10 minutes rest, and then run, 12 miles at your target marathon pace, and then a little bit of a rest, that type of thing. So where the big changes are going to be is you will get fitter. So your threshold paces will be different. You're already a bit fitter than Rob. You're also going to get your threshold is going to be different as you get fitter. So your threshold paces are a bit different to Rob's, and also your target paces are going to be different. But the actual workouts themselves very much will stay the same. And this is why when you go to your track on a Friday night, and I go to mine on a Thursday, and group sessions, you'll all do the same session on the track, and you'll all do the same time and work and rest. But some will be working harder than others. Or are they? No, they're just going faster than others because their fitness is different.
We peaked too early, guys. That's
Wow,
the
that
end of the
got deep.
that's
Sorry, that's
the end
my
of the
fault.
podcast.
And on that note,
We'll see you.
Sorry. I'll save the rest of my questions.
So there is a few questions in the chat. Is it better to do more miles than the coach says or less?
Oh, who said that?
Ben Freeman.
Is he having a laugh? He's trying to dig you out there, isn't he?
Probably. I think because Emma does more and I tend to do less.
If that's a serious question, I'm a little bit annoyed.
And then Rob Carper says, Ben, is the plan set in stone or is it a live format? So
live format.
Yeah.
Changes based upon life circumstances and fitness developing.
And then Sam says, get Ben to say red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry.
We aim to please. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry.
Silly stunt. Right. Anyway, shall we have a look at our training over the last 7 days? Shall I start? Do you want me to start?
Are we graded again?
Actually, no. Let Emma start this time because I went first last time. Yeah, we're grading.
Okay. Let me just bring up the old Strava.
Bring up the old Strava. Let's wind that crank up. Just check it on me.
Whilst you're doing that, because my running is very, very short, because I had that setback last Monday. I went running for the first time today in a week. And during 4 miles, I broke it into 2 miles I went to the track, so I did 2 miles. I did 1 walking lap and then I did 2 miles. Felt really good. No setbacks. So we are 14 weeks out from Manchester. But the reason I mention it is, remember Emma, local legend of Halezone Athletics Club track?
I've already seen it.
That's now me.
Have you got it?
Yeah,
How many times have you been around today?
Well, I did 4 miles on the track and I've done a total of, I think, 270 laps in 90 days. And that's with 4 weeks off.
Impressive. I still don't get this local legend malarkey. I really don't.
Anyway,
really
Emma,
you do get it. You're just not trying hard enough.
I don't. I get it. I know. I understand it. I'm just not that bothered. It's just I can't be bothered going and find them where they are, or I tend to stick to the same routes.
You should get a local legend if you stick to.
I have got the local. I have got a local legend. Run to the Boozer. That's my local legend. That's the one.
He's not trying hard enough.
No, the Run to the Boozer is my local legend because that is on my route that I run most. If I do a 45-minute or 40-minute easy, that's where I get. So, anyway, go on, Emma. You go first.
So we changed my plan a little bit, didn't we, last week when we were chatting about the plan because I had some things that I wanted to do. So I did what I wanted to do, which was really appreciated. But last week it was a bit hard to, I say get good sessions in because of all the snow and the ice. But really, the pace was easy. And I think my pace was probably within the ranges that you've set, Ben, because the snow and the ice was slowing me down. So on Monday, I had easy 40 and strides. And I really enjoyed Monday's run because I got on the tracks and it was fresh snow. You know, when you're running and you can hear it crunching, it was really, really nice. And it even managed to do strides in the snow. That was fun. On Tuesday, I went for a club run.
Can we ask fun? Or sensible?
Fun and sensible fun.
Okay.
I think because I went on the tracks, it was crunchy, nice snow. Are you meaning like sensible because of the ice?
Yeah, just asking.
Yeah. I think if I'd have gone on the pavements, the snow would have been more icy, and that wouldn't have been as sensible.
Fair.
So when I do club runs and try and incorporate them into my easy runs, so this was another question. So on Tuesday I went to club and I had easy 45 on the plan, but
You only get 3. I'm just rubbing the lamp for your third question.
You can
I
have
want to
mine if
make
you
sure
want,
I'm.
Emma, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll have some of yours. So, as we all know, when we run with clubs, you have muster points, you stop, you wait for everybody, and then they have like your set route. So, I did 48 minutes. So, what I did is I cut off short and ran back, trying to stick to the 45 minutes, and it got to 48. That included me pausing my watch whilst we were waiting for some of the back runners to regroup. So in those types of situations, is that okay, or what should I be doing? What's your advice?
I don't think it. I mean, look, we joke when we say that. Well, we don't joke when we say that you've got a run on and you should always do no more or no less than that. Like 45 minutes and you do 48, not a problem, because the fact is you're not going to accumulate any extra fatigue really from doing that extra 3 minutes, and that's kind of what we're trying to prevent, is the concern that we could build up more fatigue than required. If you're expected to do an hour and you did an hour and a half, that's too much. I mean, I would say
10% maybe.
Well, there's no
10%
hard and
and-
fast rule.
4.5 minutes.
You kind of know your body more than anyone else, and I can't tell you at the end of a week how much fatigue you should have, because it's all about like recovery and all the different elements. So like doing 48 minutes instead of 45, you don't even need to comment on that really. I think if you were going to do a half an hour longer, that's a big problem. Regularly.
So what I did is I cut short instead of carrying on, and I did that because I was trying to stick to the 45, but I wanted to and I could have carried on and finished it, and if it had done
how much more? I was going to say, how much more would it have been?
Probably would have been closer to 60 minutes.
On an easy run in the week, I don't think it's a problem, because it's that extra 15 minutes. I would probably say if we're going 15 minutes over your allocated time, then really we need to be thinking, you've got to be sensible. Is this causing me damage for tomorrow's run? If there isn't a run tomorrow and it's a rest day, then that kind of negates that question and it's not really a concern. You've then got to think to yourself, like, if there is a run tomorrow, what type of run is it? Am I going to do this extra 15 minutes, which means I'm not going to be able to turn up and do the speed session that I want to do? Or you wouldn't do an extra rep on a track session because there's a risk of injury. We have a for the enjoyment of the podcast and for our banter in our group with the plans, we have a bit of a chat about it, and a lot of it is banter, or you did too much and all that sort of stuff. But you know your body better than anyone else, and I don't think it hurts to occasionally go over.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
I think as well, when I'm doing the club runs, because it's so easy, because it's social, you're chatting, you're stopping and you're having that muster point, you're giving your heart rate chance to recover, it is really easy. So for me, I then get the urge to carry on and finish it. Whereas last week when I cut it short, I was like, I really didn't want to cut it short, but I wanted to stick to the plan.
I think there's more damage to be done. Not damage, there's more to be done from not completing your workouts fully. Like if you've got 45 minutes and you do 30, or you've got 60 minutes and you do half an hour.
Just wait till mine.
I know.
Yeah, if you do a Silito, as it's called. But then again, it's also in both scenarios, whether you're doing too much or too less, it's more about whether that's being done regularly as well. once or twice every now and then, even once a week, isn't going to make much in the way of damage. Training for a marathon or training for any race, in fact, is an accumulation of consistently good weeks.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. It's about putting as many good weeks together as you possibly can, not making every workout perfect. You don't want to focus on perfection each workout. You want to focus on good weeks. And at the moment, you're having a good start to your training. And we need to do that for the next 14 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So that was Tuesday, so it was a club. Thursday.
On Tuesday.
Jesus, we're only on Tuesday. It's going to be a long episode.
It's going to be a long episode. I'll cut my short. Don't you worry.
Wednesday, we agreed I'd move that to Friday, so I'll come to that in a moment. But Thursday, I needed to go and just run on my own. So I told you guys that I was feeling a little bit anxious and I hadn't been sleeping, and I think the not sleeping was what was making me anxious. I'm pretty confident that's what it was. So instead of going to club on Thursday, we got that storm coming as well, hadn't we? I just said to the guys,
Storm
I was like,
Goretti.
yeah, Storm Goretti. So I just said
Didn't
to the
really
guys,
do much
look,
for us.
I'm gonna get out on my own and just go and do a good solid run. So that should have been 45 minutes easy, and I did 60 minutes, maybe not very easy.
Not easy at all. 60 minutes marathon pace.
Yeah. I just needed to kind of give my head a wobble.
Remember that when you're grading. There's no excuses. Like I was told last week, there's no excuses.
No, there is.
Remember your grading.
That was mental health miles, actually.
Remember your grade. Remember this when you're grading it, Ben. There's no excuses.
It's quite funny because what she's saying is she's given a snapshot of the workout, but if you look at the workout, she actually went out and did 2 miles at threshold. Probably at some point went, oh shit, I shouldn't be doing this. And then she slowed down a little bit and ended up doing kind of 2 miles at marathon pace. And then the guilt really set in and she got, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. And then she slowed down again.
Then I hit a hill.
Yeah.
And my watch kept going, too fast.
Yeah.
Too fast. But I needed that run because I think sometimes you just need to give your head a bit of a wobble. So I just needed to put the music on and I just needed to put a bit of a shift in and move my legs. And you know what? I felt so much better for it. So I don't think you should grade me down for it.
No, I mean, absolutely. I think, look, what we've got to look at is when you're doing running in general, the marathon is the goal, but ultimately we said last week that running is for mental health, it's for well-being. And if you can say, look, I don't feel very well, and you can help yourself and save yourself from a bit of down time with a good run that's going to change your outlook, then go and do it. And you did that, and I'm glad you did it, and I'm glad you felt better for it. The only thing I would say with it is you did that at quite an intensity, and then the next day was a track night.
Yeah, I messed that up completely.
So it's kind of like, but that's the thing. In the moment, it's like, right, I need to go out and I need to have a really good run because I need to flush something out my system. I need to have a really good, strong run just to make me feel good. So there's nothing wrong with that. You then got your track night, and then obviously off the back of that, then we've got like, the next day we went and did 10.2 miles. So there's been a lot of accumulation from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's why really we had the planned rest day today. It's just kind of looking at that and thinking we don't want too many of these weeks to happen, because that's where if we let one happen and this week it happens again, before you know it, we're putting a lot of fatigue in really early in the plan, which means that we either risk injury, which is the worst case scenario, or we're not able to perform the way we want to for the next 3 or 4 weeks because we hit a bit of overtraining. So it can happen. You can do it. Mm-hmm. And again, you know your body better than anyone else, but we just need to be mindful.
Yeah, I get it. I think on Thursday when I went and did that stunt. It was just because I wanted to be on my own and I just needed to, like you say, just flush something out, and it worked. I remember walking back in and Dan was like, "How was your run?" I was just like, "I feel great for that. I felt amazing after that run." So it definitely hit the spot. But Friday,
And that's
yeah,
the
I
most
messed that
important
up.
thing.
So Friday we got the track session, and I was doing your session at the track, and I'd already checked that I could use my watch to go back into the calendar to get the session. I got to track and I just couldn't do it. And the session that the guys at track were doing wasn't in my watch. So I didn't have a session in my watch. So I just went to pot and I was just like, I've messed it up because I haven't got a session to follow. And I just did a 5K on the track and a cool down. However, I could have afterwards. I thought to myself, why didn't I just do 3 laps of a warm up and then just make something up? Because
And this
I know what a
is
session looks like, but I just
this is the
ruin it for
key
myself.
thing with gaining that experience in terms of your plan and knowing what each session's to do. So I think there's all the backup really is before you go to the track.
Check your
Is
watch.
knowing what the session is, because you could get to the watch, the workout could be on your watch, you check it, you get there, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, your watch dies or whatever. But it's understanding what the workout is on the day. So it's like today's an easy day, tomorrow's a threshold day, Friday's a rep session, Sunday's a long run. Going to the track and going, right, I'm going to do this workout, it's a rep session. You get there to start it, isn't there? So what's a rep session look like? It's 50 seconds on, 50 seconds off. It's doing 3 sets of 1 minute on, 30 seconds off, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, and doing, 2 sets of 8 of, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And that's the type of thing. I mean, if you're at a track, a perfect thing you can do is to do 1 lap hard, 1 lap easy, 1 lap hard, 1 lap easy. These are the types of things that you put into your armory as you develop and you go through the weeks of training. I wouldn't say you messed it up, because you've worked hard for the best part of 20 minutes, 20 plus minutes, and you will have developed something. No run's a bad run, put it that way. That's the way to look at it.
Yeah, I think as well, last week, with me not sleeping and having the harder run the day before, it was probably okay that I just went and did that. I remember being stood there and I turned to Jack. I was like, the session's not on my watch. I don't know what I'm doing. And he just said to me, you do know what the session is. It's threshold Ks. A K on the track is 2.5 laps. Then you've got 1 minute 30 recovery. So I did know what it was, but because it wasn't in my watch, I just had a bit of a hissy fit and just gave up. I think I just gave up. I admit I gave up. I was just like, it's not my watch. I can't do it.
I think you've not had a bad week. I think the way that we look at the kind of deviations from the plan is you've had a rest day today, and to kind of put you back on track so you're not beating yourself up is, if I was to say to you now, out of 10 being quite high and 1 being low, where's your fatigue levels at?
Right now, I'm fully
Yeah, if I was
recovered, ready to rock and roll.
No, that's what your watch is telling you, right?
No, I am. I slept amazing last night. I've had a really good day. I'm good.
She's had a rest as well today, so I suppose it's
so
what she's feeling like.
So you're feeling
she's
like
rested.
really low in fatigue.
Yes.
So if you're feeling
fine.
really low in fatigue and you've had the week that you've just had, feeling low in fatigue means your body's absorbed all that training, which means in terms of training effect, you've had a really good week. You've improved your fitness. You've come out the back of some, struggles with feeling bad with your mental health, and you're ready to start a new week having had a rest day, and we're ready to go and stick to that plan and get a long run in and get a workout in. And those are the 2 important sessions of the week, and we're ready for it. So, regardless of what I give you as a grade, it's a D, by the way, you've had a good week.
Yeah, I suppose. Saturday, I went up to the Peak District and I was on Kinder Scout. We did 10 miles in waist-deep
that
snow.
did look amazing, to be fair.
You know what? It was amazing. We couldn't run a lot, but where we could run, we did absolutely run. But my main takeaways from that were it was just
Bloody
absolutely
cold.
incredible. No, it wasn't. We were
Was
not
it?
cold at all because the sun was out, and
Yeah,
it was
actually.
it was cold when you fell and your hands went in it.
Yeah.
But it was just incredible, the views. But because the spine runners were out on course, we dropped Graham off at the start and we saw them all start, and then we drove to Hayfield and got up to the top of Kinder as they were coming down the other side. So it was just an amazing experience. You know, we kind of all stood to the side and bowed down to these spine runners, telling them that they've got all of 100 miles to go and that they need to keep moving. But it was just an amazing experience. Absolutely loved it. The views, we just all had a great time. And I think because it's difficult to run in those conditions, just the appreciation you get from the people that are out there through the night doing it, it was just like, wow, waking up the next morning and going to do my run, knowing that some of the people I'd seen yesterday out on course are still out there running, and they have been through the night. So yeah, that was good. And then Sunday we had 90 minutes easy. I did 90 minutes easy, and the ice really helped me keep it easy, because there's no way I could get any pace on that
This is
ice.
the most impressive thing for both your weeks, really, is that given the weather, and by all accounts, you didn't have as much snow and ice as some parts of the country.
We didn't have as much as you. When I came down to Birmingham on Sunday, there was still snow everywhere.
You came to Birmingham again and didn't see me? Shock.
Yes. I'll come down. We'll get onto that in a minute.
You both got out and did your long runs, and that's the big thing, because this is where we're at. Marathon training, it's not easy, and we're about putting together as many good weeks as we possibly can. Not doing your long run at the end of a week is a big thing. Like you can hit a perfect week Monday to Saturday. You don't do your long run on Sunday, wasted week in my opinion. And this is the big thing. You both managed to get out and got your long runs done.
Yeah, I haven't come on to mine yet.
Do you want to know what's even more impressive about our long runs?
Go on.
We both pretty much did the same route, one after each other.
We did.
That is impressive.
Not even intentionally.
No.
I went and did mine. Rob did his, and he ran where I ran.
Yeah, I did. I'll come on to why I did that in a minute. So
I'm done. Oh,
teacher,
and I'll just add. I'll just add that in addition to all my running, I did my strength work as well with my squats and lunges and etc. etc. So yeah, got the strength session in too. So
there you go,
an extra point.
So she's gone from a D to a C, maybe. What do you think?
C minus.
What was I last week?
B minus. We both got a B minus last week.
Oh.
No. But you can't get a high grade. You can't get a high grade every week. I genuinely think, other than the mess up on the track session, and which you would openly admit, I think you did a really good week. I genuinely do, and I think.
I mean, what we could do is
I think you've done a rest day. Well, to top it off as well, you've actually had a rest day today as well, which for you, I can imagine, is quite difficult because you know that
it is. I'm
itching.
Yeah,
I know, and that's what I mean. So I'm fighting your corner here.
I mean, instead of giving grades, we could go down the route of training peaks for those that know it, and we could go green, amber, and red. And technically, you'd have got an amber because you didn't complete your week with accuracy.
It does that on my watch, though. When I finished a session that you've put in there, it gives me a percent. It tells me the percent of what I scored.
Yeah, so Coros does the same thing. It grades you out of 100%. So if you miss like an interval or you miss a rep or it's too fast, too slow, you're too far out, it will give you a score.
So which do you prefer, Emma? A C minus or an amber?
What if it was out of 10? What would it be?
Well, yeah, we've got graded, we've got colours, and we want numbers now.
You're probably about 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give myself a 6.
So that's about a C.
I'd-
That is about a C if you
Yeah,
think about it.
I'm all right.
If
It's okay.
if A plus is 10, A's 9, A minus is 8. Yeah, you're about a C.
It's fine. I accept it. You know what? It's a new week.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fine.
It's good. I mean, it's all right. We'll
Right.
move on. Let's do another
Yeah.
week. I mean, we've had a lot of coaching talk today. This is great. Let's go to Rob. Let's see what. Let's end the coaching talk. And just crack on with the telling off.
Yeah. I don't think I've done too bad. So,
Well, we'll be the judge of that.
No, Ben will be the judge of that, not you, Emma.
I'm going to contribute.
I'm not allowed to judge you. No. What you said is, it's not your turn yet, so it's not your turn. It's my turn.
Just bringing up your Strava.
So 40 minutes
Yeah, I'll do
easy and strides on Monday. I did 46 minutes 51, which is 40 minutes plus your strides. Yeah. And that was in the snow as well. And I didn't go down the tracks. I was on pavements, but I wore my trail shoes. I was sensible. I wore my trail shoes and took it relatively easy. Pace of 10:57, so that is easy. And my average heart rate was 146. So I think that's easy. And that's including the strides as well. So I think that wasn't too bad on my usual route that I tend to do.
I mean, that's a solid workout, to be fair.
Yeah. On the Tuesday, it was a start of the Streak 365, and you've got to run a mile to keep up with the Streak 365. So I went out and did an easy 1 mile again, 11:18, because the roads were so slippy, very slippy. Just went round the block a couple of times. Average heart rate of 136. So that was day 1 of the streak. Laughing at.
It's just reminding me. I just sent you Strava and I can see the photo, and it's just reminding me of Sam messaging you in the week saying you need to buy someone needs to buy a piece of paper. Kept writing on the back of an envelope. He wrote on the back of an envelope. He held it up for probably about the 4th time he's done this now. Streak 1. And then the next day,
you little whiteboard.
I need to print it off. I need to print it off.
Scribbled out the 1 and he'd written a 2 next to it.
I have. That's the next one. I'm going to print it off at work. I print it off and then laminate it, and then I can use it repeatedly. I am recycling. I am thinking of the planet. That's what I'm doing.
No, you're not.
So Tuesday night, I went and did my last swimming lesson with Charlotte and had a conversation with her about how I'm going to progress with the swimming. And she has offered to be my unofficial swimming coach. So she's going to send me some workouts, so drills and sets to use in the swimming pool. So I will
drills
be
in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
What are they?
So drills, so what you do, so exercises, and like similar to what you would do with a run.
Like an interval session in the swimming pool.
Well, they tell you what to do, so do this, do that. Yeah, similar, very similar. So she's going to write me some drills and some sets.
Are you going to video it?
Probably not, because it's in a public swimming pool. So probably
you're going to start a podcast.
Yeah, me and Charlotte. Yeah. So day 3 on the Wednesday, Threshold K's. Day 2 of the Streak 365. Running in circles in the dark. I went out and it got very, very dark. I went out. What time did I go out? I can't remember what time I went out. And did my threshold session around Goosepooney Lake. And it was getting slippier and slippier and slippier as I went. It was quite clear, but there was patches of like ice, so I had to take it steady past them. But then as the night progressed, it got slippier and slippier and slippier. So I did my threshold session.
You are the local legend of Forest Park Lap.
Am I?
Yes.
Oh,
just check, because I was going to go and get it, but you've already got it, so you can have it.
I didn't know it was. Like I say, not really that bothered. Okay, local legend. So I did that. So threshold Ks. So that's day 2 with Streak 365, 5.67 miles, average pace in 9:28.
Paced well.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I'm happy with that actually. When I was looking at the pacing, with the actual threshold Ks, they were very, very similar. I was quite happy with, because I wanted to start. What I'm always told is you want to start as you mean to finish with like any threshold run. So I wanted to start, and I thought I'm never going to be able to keep this pace up, but I was. and my last one was my fastest one. So it was 5 at threshold with.
And I read something once.
1K on and then 90 seconds off.
I read something once in all the times I obsessed over coaching and reading books and training methods and stuff, and it always sticks with me is that you're only as strong as your last rep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that your last rep was comfortable and your fastest, but you didn't push it too hard is a really good sign. And I think we're probably both at the stage with both of you where we need to probably have a look at whether we need to adjust your paces. But I don't want to do that too soon, because if we do that too soon, we run the risk of doing a bit of overtraining, where at the moment all we're trying to do is build a really good base.
Yeah, I'll come on to a question in a minute around pace, around zones, because on Strava now you've got your heart rate zone, and you've got zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, and you've got your pace zones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one should we be focusing on? Should we be focusing on the pace zones or the heart rate zone, do you think? Because if you look at the one that I did the day after, 66% on my pace zone, 66% was in zone 2 and 34% was in zone 1. However, heart rate, 32% was in zone 4.
It's a difficult thing to say, because I think James Mitchell's put a comment in on YouTube as well. What you've got to look at is you've got to look at, if you're coaching yourself or if somebody is coaching you, you've got to look at the platform that you're using to take your data, and you've got to stick to that one platform. Because Strava, if you look at the pace ranges, the one where it tells you about whether you're in zone 4, zone 3, zone 2, based upon your heart rate, that's based upon what is known as your maximum heart rate.
Yeah.
Okay. On your Garmin, and what I use for your coaching, I use what is known as your lactate threshold.
Yeah, I remember
heart rate, and then we look
that,
at percentage of your lactate threshold.
Yeah.
If you use Training Peaks with a coach online, a well-known coaching platform, they will set their own paces based upon testing and data that is brought out from runs. So I'm not using the Strava data. I'm not using the Garmin data to set your paces or your heart rate. I like a coaching method called Jack Daniels coaching, which is
the whiskey.
I like Jack Daniels too.
All over it. I'm just going to make him run really fast because he's bollocks.
Jack Daniels gets me through my ultras, actually.
So is Jack Daniels an actual person then, I presume, from a coaching
Jack Daniels is a very famous running coach, passed away quite recently, actually, and he developed an algorithm called the Jack Daniels coaching method, or VDOT method. So VDOT, which is the breakdown of VO2 max. And basically, it's a coaching method where he, based upon a predicted time, will give you your predicted threshold heart rate and your predicted threshold pace. And what you could do is you can go to the website, VDOT. If you just go into Google and type in VDOT, VDOT, it comes up with a little pace calculator. And it's really good if you're coaching yourself, because what you could do is you could put in a recent 10K time, a recent 5K time. And this is why when I ask you to go and do your benchmarks, I then take those times and put them into VDOT, and it tells me what I think, or what it thinks your threshold pace should be and your threshold heart rate should be. But it also will give you equivalent times that if you run a 5K in 20 minutes, what you should be able to run a 10K in, or a half marathon or a marathon in. It will also tell you what your training paces are for easy runs, threshold runs, reps, intervals. He's got a really fantastic book called Jack Daniels Marathon Method, or something along those lines. And I've looked at different training methods. I've looked at Jack Daniels. There's one called Hanson Marathon Method. There's a guy called Arthur Lydiard who believed in building a really big training base, like an endurance base. There's thousands of different books out there, all about different coaching methods. What you need to do as an athlete or as a coach, because every coach will have done this, is to look at different training methods. And you might be really clever and design your own coaching method, but you look at all the different methods and you interpret it into what you feel works for you and your athlete. So it's kind of, the answer to your question is
neither on Strava.
For you, it's picking what you want to see as your method.
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, you've got to your disposal Garmin and Strava,
Yeah.
which one is more aesthetically pleasing for you to read the data? Most of that is probably Strava because it's set up for, communities and people to look at in a simple way, and it gives you the AI comments. If you're going to choose Strava, you need to make sure that the data's set up right. So it's based on your maximum heart rate. Has it pulled your maximum heart rate through from your device correctly to give you the right zones?
I have been saying I'm going to put my heart rate monitor on, but I can't get it out. I keep forgetting. Otherwise,
I wear mine in the gym.
Your heart rate monitor. Oh, she's gone. Where's Emma gone? Emma's disappeared. She wears her in the gym. Then are you there?
Now I could see a picture. There
back?
she is.
It's just come up on the screen. We can't access your video. Why?
I can see you now.
Don't worry about it all.
But yeah,
anyway. We're an audio podcast mainly. So
I think it's mainly a case of looking at the data that's available to you, understanding that data, sticking to it, and making sure that the metrics that it is based on are accurate.
Because I was thinking it today when I was looking at it. I was thinking because I went out and did. I'll come on to it in a bit, but I went out with the Stoke Fit, and I was looking at my heart rate, and I was like, well, I'm not even running. I don't feel like I'm running fast. I don't feel like I'm running slow. I just feel like I'm running normally, and my heart rate was going up. I'm like, what the hell? But again, it might be because of the position that you watch. It might be that your strap's not on tight enough, or it could be that something's obstructing it. So, yeah, I don't know. I need to get my heart rate monitor out and just use that because I know that's more of an accurate reading. So,
I look more at my pace, if I'm honest, and go off how I feel than looking at my heart rate.
That's what I've been doing. I've only been more conscious about heart rate after, I think it was yourself, Ben, who said you need to be looking at it, look at what's going on with your zones and things like that. And I was thinking, well, okay then.
Yeah. Because
Julianne's mentioned it as well about her heart rate being high recently. Is it because of fatigue or is it because of asthma? I've got historical asthma. I don't suffer with asthma now, so I'm not saying I've got asthma or anything. But when the cold air hits my chest, it does take me by. Well, it doesn't take me by surprise, but it's harder to breathe. So I think I've got scarring in my lungs and things like that. So it might be something to do with that potentially. And also, I don't know if it's true, but being tall as well can have an impact on your heart rate because it's got further to pump around your body. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say because the air's thinner, the higher up you go.
Yeah, it is as well. And that is very true. Very true. But anyway, yeah, so I did that.
The key thing on that one, last point on that one, is that everybody's different. Yeah. Everybody's different. And I think every given day is different. And we said it a little bit last week, like if you've not slept very well, you're going to find workouts harder. If the weather's bad, you're going to find them harder. Yeah. So all this advice that is available, the biggest thing is you know yourself better, and not every run's going to feel easy. The way to find out whether you're doing a real easy run, easiest way to say is conversational, because if it's conversational, that means you're able to bring in oxygen easy. And an aerobic run means basically with oxygen. So if you're not able to consume oxygen because you're working too hard, then is it an aerobic run? Regardless of pace, on any given day, it depends on what the factors are. But if you tasked to do an easy run, it needs to be aerobic with oxygen, and that needs to be your body easily taking that in. So slow it down.
So Jimmy
for the circumstance.
Jimmy the Dub has mentioned something, and we can talk about this probably next week now because we're 50 minutes in. Why not get a VO2 max test and set your heart rates from the heart rate zone from that? I know you've had a VO2 max before in the past, Ben. Is it just quickly, not in depth? Is it worth going for a VO2 max test? Yes or no?
I would say it depends upon how serious you're taking your outcome and what you're going to do with the data.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can talk about that. Because James Mitchell's mentioned it as well, a more accurate way. So we can talk about that probably next week if we get a chance. On the Thursday, as we've already mentioned, Storm Goretti was on the way, and I went out and decided to do it on my lunch break. And I only get half an hour lunch break because I want to have something to eat as well. So I did 31 minutes with the intention of going out and doing 15 minutes later, but never got around to doing that 15 minutes later. But instead, I went out for a swim because it's in the pool, and if the storm is in the pool, you can't have a storm in a pool. And also, whoa. I'm going to mute you. I'll mute you. Let me speak. Let me finish. I need to ask the question. So I need to ask the question. Cumulative over the week, because I've been doing the miles, does that make a difference? And that's a genuine question. So I did it on the Friday after, it was supposed to be a rest day, and the Tuesday was supposed to be a rest day, but I did a mile, very easy pace. Over the week, I know you talk about psychologically, last week we talked about it, and about psychologically it's going to have an impact. But from a training point of view, is it beneficial from that point of view? Ben?
It's the same answer to Emma, really, a while ago in this show that feels like it's gone on for about 10 days. It's about making sure that we don't do it consistently.
Yeah,
because
that's 2 out of the 2 weeks I've done it, so it's consistent
exactly.
at the moment.
What we're seeing physically and mentally are two different things. Physically, cutting 15 minutes off every 45-minute run isn't a big deal.
But I'd rather cut 15 minutes off than get sacked.
No, yeah, exactly. If it's done regularly, right, it's not a big
Just
deal.
rearrange your run and do it properly.
If it's done regularly, it's a big deal, because we're every week cumulatively, yes, we're reducing us in training volume over the course of a marathon block. Not done regularly, it's not such a bad thing. Psychologically and mentally, it's poor, because what you've done is you've given yourself 15 minutes break off that run like you did the week before, and you're already, without knowing it, in a bit of a rut where you go, well, I've cut 15 minutes off because it won't matter. Yes, the fact that you need to cut it short for work is a real thing. We don't want you to get sacked, obviously. But what we need to ask the question of is, I was 15 minutes short last week. I don't want to do that again. I want to get my 45 minutes in. Is this the best time to run?
So that I'm going to skip to tonight. Friday went out and did a mile to keep the streak going. Saturday I went out and did 40 minutes in strides, part run, part ice skate, because it was so slippy. So I did that 46 minutes again. Sunday, after being out the night before, I wasn't massively hungover, but slightly hungover, had a headache and everything like that. I went out, took off the football, then went out and ran to get my car, because my car was in Biddle. So I ran, as Emma said, in the same places. Emma's down the track and did 90 minutes. Really enjoyed it, actually. Really enjoyed it. Really refreshing, actually, to get out. And I genuinely think I kept it truly easy. Average heart rate over the 90 minutes was 143. Although the pace was quite... And again, that's what I mean about pace. It was average pace of 10:10 on easy, and I got an average heart rate of 143. So I enjoyed that yesterday. Yesterday.
Yeah.
And then tonight, I've been out and helped with the Couch to 5K for Stoke Fit. So if anybody is listening and they want to do Couch to 5K, currently Stoke Fit are doing it, and they started it today. And they're going to do Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. You can do the Couch to 5K with other people, because obviously you can access the Couch to 5K app at any time if you want to, and you can do it on your own. But you can come, and it's free. You can come and have that support from run leaders and also a community feel if you want to. So I am going to be doing my LAIF, so my leaders in fitness in running and fitness. So I went to help, and I was at the front. So I did 35 minutes with them. A distance of 2.25, average pace of 15:36. So we did a 5-minute slow warm up, then 1 minute of running, 90 seconds of recovery, 8 times, and then 5 minutes recovery again. So I did that with them, and then I did another half an hour after. I think it was 45 minutes on the plan, but I did over an hour just because I did the 2 sessions. But one of them was really slow pace because of the Couch to 5K, and then one was slowish. Tried to keep my heart rate low, average heart rate of 148. So again, because I've done success one after another, there was no break in between. I went out and did that. Is that adequate as well? And I must admit, I really enjoyed. I'm really enjoyed supporting the Couch to 5K. It was really rewarding, actually, speaking to people that haven't ran before potentially, or coming back to running, and supporting them and giving them advice and support. It was really nice. So it's definitely spurred me on to do the leaders in running. So
I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think what we've got to look at is over the course of a week, training for an event to get fitter is all about putting enough fatigue in the body that we don't put too much fatigue in the body that you overtrain, and then you recover enough for the body to absorb the training. That's what it is in its simplest format. It's putting fatigue in and letting the body recover so that it super compensates and gets fitter. So over the course of the week, I don't think it's a problem. All you've got to ask yourself really is my biggest question to you is and I said it last week, is the Run 365 thing. When it's needed to be kept alive, that you're only doing a mile and it is really, really slow, so that you are actually having these recovery days.
Yeah.
When you're breaking runs up to do half an hour with a little bit of a stop and then another half an hour, it doesn't matter, because ultimately you're putting that time in feet on. So I think overall, week-wise, I'd be happy to give you a C.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for someone to pull out a perfect week, but we're not going to be perfect weeking because we're not athletes.
Definitely not going to be perfect weeking with me, mate. Don't worry about that. I don't think I've ever had a perfect week yet since we started this podcast 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, we're recreational runners that enjoy running, that have a goal.
And have family life and work life.
We have work life, family life, mental health, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's summed up. It was in the comments.
We are the everyday runner, and that's what this podcast is for, the everyday runner. Not your elite.
It's really impressive to see how important you both take this. You will never be good all the time. How you take your not so good weeks is important. Don't linger on them and try to put it right soon. Just do what you can. Keep consistent.
Kelly Burndred, who is the runner's runner for Biddulph. Well done to Kelly.
She is.
She just put, I've taken a lot away from this tonight. Thanks, guys. We hope
it's slightly different. A lot of coaching talk. I'm glad you appreciate it, Kelly. Yeah. It's good.
It is good.
Kelly is a legend.
Shall we talk about Biddulph Running Club, actually? Shall we talk about the awards? Because we both went. And we've got the NSRRA award ceremony on Friday as well, which we're all going to be going to. So we're really looking forward to that. We're going to hopefully get an opportunity to catch up with some of the runners. We did it a couple of years ago. We took some microphones with us. We didn't do it last year. We'll see if we remember to take them this year. And we can catch up with some of the winners, some of the runners-up, some of the other runners that just took part because they're just as important. And also hopefully get the opportunity to speak to Ken Rushton as well. So we will be doing that. So watch this space for next week. But I had a really good night at the Biddulph Running Awards. There was Club Champs, which I really liked. It was won by Rob McHugh. Scott McHugh came second and Jack Stewart came third. Ladies-wise, I know that Karen Murphy came first. Karen McIntosh came second, and who came third in the ladies? I don't know this lady.
We had a joint third place.
Oh, did we?
It was twins, Becky and Helen.
Okay.
And just FYI, I came fourth.
Yeah, but you didn't get an award. And Chairman's Award or Chairperson's Award, because I think it was a joint effort, because I know that Karen Wynn? Is it Karen Wynn?
Karen Wynn, yeah.
Karen Wynn was the chairperson before, and then obviously Robbie's taken over as chairperson. Mark Payne, who I know Mark, I've only known him for a short while, but he is the loveliest person I've ever met. He is really, really nice and really, really thoughtful with his suggestions as well. And me and him are going for the similar kind of marathon goal of 4:15. So we were catching up on the Biddulph Running Award. So he got the chairperson's award, and then like I say, Kelly got runner's runner, which is voted for by the runners from the Running Club. So I think that's more important than the chairperson's award. Personally, I can remember winning the Proud to Care award at work, and that is like a player's player because it's voted for by your peers, and I think that's more important than just one person or two people making the decision. Kelly is obviously impressed, not taking anything away from Mark, because I know this is the second time Mark's won it, but very well done to Kelly. And if you want to add anything, Emma, because I've just talked about it.
No, you've summarised. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad
it was
that you
good, lad.
remembered it all. I'm impressed you remembered it all and
I wasn't
everybody's
that
names.
drunk. I wasn't that drunk. I know most
No,
people.
but it's
I
not
know
just
people.
remembering it all anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
But,
I know most people,
yeah, it
and
was
I feel really welcome actually when I go. I do feel really
good.
welcome. Other than I can't go
Good.
for a run with you, but we won't talk about that.
Well, you can come for a
Moving
run
on.
with me whenever
Well,
you
yeah,
want.
yeah. Come and I can run with anybody and whenever I want. Yeah, but yeah.
No, it was a really good night. It always is. And we always make sure friends and family feel welcome. So my Dan came, and then later on in the evening, Oliver came to us because he was at a friend's house. And I said, get dropped off at the town hall. So even Oliver came, and I embarrassingly made him have a dance. But it was yeah, it was a great night. Everyone had such a good time, and really, really proud of Kelly. Absolutely love Kelly to bits. She deserves that award, and I'm so proud of her. So well done, Kelly.
Yeah. And I think that's a really nice point to end on. So well done to everybody that wins an award. And like I say, we will be at the NSRRA. So we're looking forward to seeing who wins the awards at the NSRRA. And on that note, very coach heavy today.
I
A
know,
lot of
I'm
coaching tips.
shattered. I am.
I know.
Well,
I bet you are. I bet you
is
feel
this
like
what
you've
it's
been
going to
out.
be like for the next
Yeah.
14 weeks?
Well, that's you're coaching us. So I was going to say that's
Sorry.
what we pay the money for, but we don't pay.
Yeah, we definitely got us money worth tonight.
Yeah, do you know what the thing is, right? Last point I want to say on this. A little
On
over
that note,
what was
we'll
it?
see you all later.
No. A little over 3 years ago, he said to me, "Is it 3 years now? 2 years? 3 years?
Over 3 years. So we've done doing the
So,
podcast
yeah.
of 3 years.
So a little over 3 years ago, he said to me, "Oh, it'd be great to build your presence, and I want to give you something back." What am I actually getting from this now?
Friendship.
Just over 3 years later, it's Monday night. It's 9:30, and I feel taxed.
Well,
You'll have a good sleep because you're that exhausted from all the coaching.
and you get opportunity to speak to me and Emma, and that's the most
more
important
could you
thing.
want?
And what more do you want?
I'd still log on if we didn't hit record.
Aww.
And on that note, we will see you all later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.